welcome back to our video series, Long-Term Thinking. My name is Broske. I'm a certified financial planner with Pines Wealth Management. And today we want to talk about politics and investing. Not a happy subject to be talking about, but it's an important subject nevertheless. Unfortunately, a lot of times we as investors, we want to make an investment policy out of our politics. And as we'll see here in a moment, that can be a huge mistake and lead to disastrous consequences. Unfortunately, whether you're Democrat or whether you're Republican, your political views are not important in investing. Let's take a look. So here you can see a chart as far as who sits in the White House, a Democrat or a Republican. And once again, we're going to look through the lens of history to provide us that answer of whether or not politics matter in your investments. Here we're going all the way back to 1949. And by the way, the reason why we want to look at history is because history is the only place where we will find answers and where we find facts. There's no facts about the future. I don't care how many charts, how many graphs you show me, how smart you are, how educated you are, you do not have the ability to predict the future. Facts can only be found in history. That's why we look back at these charts and are so important, because it gives us a historical perspective on what happens in both cases of a Democrat or a Republican in the White House. But let's start with a Democrat, because that's the incumbent. Okay, there's only three possible scenarios for Congress. You can either have a Democratic Congress, an all-Democratic Congress, an all-Republican Congress, or a Congress that is split. Under Democrats and under Democratic leadership, the S&P 500 since 1949 through 2023 has done 13.9% per year. Under Republican president, it's 18.5%. And if Congress is split, it's 18. It's a little over 18. And if you recall from our previous videos about the long-term bucket, notice that all three of these provide us with growth. So any investments that we have in that long-term bucket, we wanted growth, and to some extent in the midterm bucket as well. But either way, in this case, under Democratic leadership, you get growth. Well, let's look at a Republican in the White House. Once again, if we have an all-Republican Congress, the S&P 500 is up 10.7%. In a Democratic Congress, it's 7.5%. And if it's split, which is really ideal if you're a Republican president, but regardless, you're going to get, again, growth in every scenario. So what history is telling us is that regardless of your political affiliation and regardless of who sits in the White House, the S&P 500 doesn't care. The companies of the S&P 500 are only interested in providing value to their shareholders. Whether the White House raises taxes, lowers taxes, whether they make more regulations, or whether they lessen the regulations, it doesn't matter. Those companies are looking to provide value to their shareholders. What happens if an incumbent gets reelected or we have a new president? Once again, I think you'll find as we look at the second chart, it's not going to matter. But we have a new president come this November, the S&P 500. And by the way, I'm going to lengthen my time that I look at this. I'm going to go all the way back to 1928. If I look back all the way to 1928, anytime a new president comes in, the S&P 500 averages about 12.6% the year after the election. And if the incumbent gets reelected, 7.5%. But regardless of whether the incumbent or whether there is a new president, this is what I'm after. All years following election, the S&P 500 has averaged 10.7%, which again, I keep coming back to this, is growth. It doesn't matter. Keep that in mind if you're looking to make investment policy out of your politics, because it doesn't matter. Thanks for watching today's video. If you'd like to discuss this topic more in depth, feel free to reach out to us. Go to our website, and there you can make an appointment directly on our website to meet with us to discuss this important topic and how it can affect your financial plan. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.